Right now, flash flooding concerns across parts of Sauk County as the area is hit with several inches of rain in a matter of hours. And Governor Tony Evers signs the state budget today, but also uses his veto power. What changes are being made to the spending plan? Plus, how local strawberry farmers say this year's weather actually helped them as we near the official end of the picking season.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us. Flooding concerns once again tonight in the same areas that was hit hard last summer. We have team coverage. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is monitoring the forecast, and Amy Reed is live in Sauk City, where the rain is finally coming to an end. Let's begin, though, with Gary with our updated forecast. Gary?
Well, Charlotte, early this evening, we saw storms literally blow up right over Sauk County between about 5 and 6 o'clock. These storms over the last 6 hours have dropped anywhere from about 2 to 5 inches of rain from northwestern Dane County through much of Sauk County and into the eastern portions of Richland County, northern Iowa County. So that's an area that if you're driving out and about, there may be some road closures there. High-resolution Doppler radar shows the storms over Sauk County have drifted through Dane County and have weakened. Additional thunderstorms, though, trying to develop just south of Lone Rock over the last hour or two, but they're not nearly as intense. And you can see future radar over the next 3 hours shows the threat for rain gradually coming to an end later on tonight. Now, this is after a day where high temperatures were in the mid-80s to around 90. The air was very humid. Temperatures are still in the lower 70s. We're going to see a repeat of this type of forecast for tomorrow, for the 4th of July. Look for partly sunny skies. It'll be very warm and humid. We could see some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could have heavy downpours, but other people may miss out on the rain altogether. High temperature topping out at 85 degrees. Later on, I'll take a look at some improvements in the forecast as we head into the weekend.
We are getting a lot of viewer photos and videos tonight of the torrential downpour, specifically in Reedsburg. Lots of road were washed out and a few cars getting stuck in rushing water. Our Amy Reed has been following the storm and the flooding, and she joins us live now from Sauk City. Amy?
Yeah, the rain has finally stopped, maybe. We're only getting a couple drops here and there, which has got to be a relief to people in Sauk County. They thought maybe this afternoon that it would never stop, especially in Reedsburg. They got multiple inches over the evening. I'll show you one spot that we ran into on Highway 33, just a couple miles out of Reedsburg toward Laval. When the rain came in, this part of the road became washed out. We got there just as a couple people from the county came to repair the other side where water ran off. Other streams and creeks were looking quite full, but had a chance to come down a bit once the rain stopped in Reedsburg, and that's a relief to local law enforcement, which is now just trying to make sure that everything's all right.
Well, the water seems to go down as fast, or recede as fast as it came up, so we're good right now so far.
What message do you want us to get out to viewers tonight?
You know, the typical message, if turn around, don't drown. If there's water across the road, don't take a chance. Turn around.
Along with rain and flooding, Reedsburg had down trees and branches from high winds. We also heard reports of a mudslide in Richland County. Also, parts of Highway 12 here in Sauk City had to be closed down due to excess water, but those have since been reopened. Charlotte?
Amy Reed live in Sauk City tonight. Amy, thank you. To stay up to date with the latest weather information on the go, download our Channel 3000 First Alert Weather and Traffic app. It has up to the minute alerts, hourly forecast, and 10-day forecast. It's free right now in the App Store. New tonight, the Juneau County Sheriff's Office says they are waiting on autopsy and toxicology reports after a man's body was found inside a home this morning in Necedah. Deputies say they were called just before 9 o'clock this morning to the house. All they are releasing tonight is that it is a 26-year-old man and there is no danger to the public. They are not identifying who he is. Neighbors on the west side of Beloit say they are concerned about a new sex offender being relocated to their area. According to the Department of Corrections, Michael Quaid has been convicted of 2 separate counts of second-degree sexual assault and then convicted again just years ago of tampering with a GPS device after being released once before. One neighbor says she's tired of seeing this in her community.
Have a house by you and you deal with it, you know? You put them amongst us. Have them next door to you or across the street and see how you feel about it.
The DOC says Quaid is expected to be gone from the residence in 60 days. More than a dozen cattle were killed in an early morning barn fire near Waterloo. It happened at J&R Bar Ranch on Highway 89 around 3 a.m. The highway was closed for more than 2 hours while crews worked to put it out. The fire chief says 13 head of cattle were trapped in a lower portion of the barn and were unable to escape. Preparations are underway for a July 4th celebration unlike any other in Washington, D.C. Today, military band and drill rehearsals took place in front of the Lincoln Memorial on the National Mall. Crews have been setting up stands and barricades around the landmark to set the stage for the president's speech. The Salute to America will also feature military flyovers and hardware around the Lincoln Memorial. Around Madison, there will be dozens of fireworks shows and activities to celebrate Independence Day. There are also a few happening tonight and into the weekend. For the full list, go to our website, channel3000.com. Governor Evers says he will continue to fight to expand Medicaid in Wisconsin as he signed a state budget today that did not include that provision or many of his other top priorities. Evers made 78 partial vetoes to Wisconsin's 2-year spending plan. One of the biggest changes he made was increasing spending for K-12 schools by $65 million, more than state lawmakers approved. Evers said the document he signed is insufficient, but he chose not to veto it altogether because it would have been divisive and petty.
I believe it falls short of the proposal we offered. I believe the people of Wisconsin deserve more, and I believe that we should and can do better.
I'm pleased that he signed it, and I would say because for the most part our budget was kept intact, I think it's a good thing for Wisconsin.
Another veto that Republicans say they're disappointed about effectively blocks new drug test and work requirements for people on the state's food stamp program. Governor Tony Evers has ordered flags to fly at half-staff in honor of the employee killed at Volk Field this week. Nicholas Jans was killed on Monday after touching a live electrical source when he was changing light bulbs on the runway. The order for the flags to be lowered will be in effect starting at sunrise and ends once he is laid to rest. 4 Democratic presidential candidates will take part in a town hall event next week in Milwaukee. Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Elizabeth Warren, former U.S. Housing Secretary Julian Castro, and former Texas Representative Beto O'Rourke are slated to appear at the 2-hour event next Thursday, July 11th. It is organized by the League of United Latin American Citizens. The Navy SEAL acquitted in a 12-year-old ISIS fighter's death is retiring. Today, the attorney for Eddie Gallagher said his client is leaving the service to be with his family. This after a jury demoted him, sentenced him to 4 months confinement, and cut his pay. Yesterday, Gallagher was acquitted of nearly all charges in the death of the ISIS fighter, including premeditated murder. But the jury found him guilty of posing for a photo with a dead body. He is not expected to spend any time in jail. 6 people were taken to the hospital this morning after a floor collapsed at a construction site in McWanago. The fire chief said workers were pouring the floor for the second story of the structure, which will eventually be a dance studio, and the floor collapsed. The chief indicated nobody was ever trapped, and those who were hurt suffered only cuts, scrapes, and bruises, so all injuries were considered relatively minor. If you like picking your own strawberries, you have until Sunday to do so. Strawberry season officially ends then. Jamie Perez takes us to one farm in Lodi who says this has been their best season yet, despite the extreme weather patterns we've had this year.
While most of us have been complaining about how cold the winter was or how rainy this season has been, strawberry farmers are actually saying that this has been their best season yet.
Oh, wow. This is a good spot.
It's pretty sweet here at the Ferger family farm.
Yeah, there's a bunch of green ones here yet.
It's been that way for the entire strawberry season.
And we've had a lot of rain, but it's been the best season in years.
Jim Ferger is the strawberry farm master. He knows a good strawberry when he sees one.
Look at, how many are in clumps.
And so does his wife, Norma.
Okay.
So why has this season been so great? Well, while most of us have had our sour feelings about the weather, it's actually been perfect. for these sweet treats.
Strawberries are very shallow-rooted plants, and so their roots only pick up the first couple inches of moisture in the soil.
Even in the brutally cold winter, the snow on the ground actually kept these berries warm enough when it got too cold.
It killed off a lot of the bugs, it killed off a lot of disease, and also we had a really nice snow cover when it was extremely cold, which prevented the plants from freezing out.
For the hundreds of people who have passed through in the 3 short weeks that strawberry season lasts,
A very short season.
we can all thank the wacky Wisconsin weather for how red and fresh
I mean, like, you see, like, the size of this.
these berries are. In Lodi, Jamie Perez, News 3 Now.
Some farms around the area ended their season today. Whatever farm you go to, make sure you check first to make sure they are still open. Otherwise, you may have to wait until next year. Still ahead tonight, your updated forecast for the extended holiday weekend, plus tens of thousands of bourbon barrels burned today. What caused this massive fire? Next. A record number of people are planning trips for the 4th of July this year. By car alone, more than 41 million. In Wisconsin specifically, travel is up 4.5% this year. Lower gas prices are contributing to the record travel numbers. The national average is $2.61, which is 23 cents lower than last year. Today is expected to be the worst day on Wisconsin roads. Boeing is paying $100 million to the families and communities of the more than 300 families who were killed aboard its 737 MAX jets. The money is going to local nonprofits, which will distribute the funds to support education for victims' children and living expenses for families. The airplanes have been grounded worldwide since March. 2 crashes within 6 months under similar conditions led investigators to believe a problem with the plane's software system is to blame. The Milwaukee County K-9 officer is getting a lot of attention on social media. K-9 Bane is with the St. Francis Police Department. He's a dual-purpose dog specializing in scent and protection work. Bane and his handler, Detective Holly McManus, have been working together for about 5 years now. She started posting updates about his progress online that has almost 3,000 followers.
People from all over the world follow Bane on Facebook. I actually had a vet from Iraq contact me and tell me how much she enjoys following him. Canine handlers down in South America follow him and comment on his progress.
Detective McManus says she thinks social media helps open a door for the public to feel comfortable with their local police officers. Investigators in Kentucky suspect a lightning strike may have caused a fire at a Jim Beam warehouse. The building was massive. Officials say about the same area as a football field and 6 or 7 stories high. There were 44,000 barrels of bourbon inside, and crews said they were letting it burn out on purpose. That way, less distilled spirits get into runoff water and pollute nearby water sources. Taco Bell says that some restaurants are experiencing supplier shortages of tortillas and that it's working diligently to replenish the supply. Today, the chain did not share how many restaurants are dealing with shortages. The company also did not explain why they are experiencing this shortage. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joins us now with a look at
Maybe it's because there's too much rain and the trucks can't get through.
You had that look on your face. I'm like, he's going to say something.
Yeah, well, it's been that way across Sauk County, far northwestern Dane County, and parts of Richland and Iowa counties. This is the 6-hour precipitation. You can see these storms literally kind of blew up right over Sauk County and just stayed there for much of the evening before starting to drift off toward the east and southeast. These are rainfall estimates. You can see anywhere from about 2 to 4, maybe close to 5 inches of rain in a couple of spots from the eastern portions of Richland County around Richland Center into much of Sauk County up into the Reedsburg area north of Logansville, about as far east as Baraboo, down into Prairie du Sac and Sauk City area, and then eventually into the Dane County area. And much of Madison may have picked up an inch to an inch and a half of rain. But as we take a look at high-resolution Doppler radar right now, that cluster of storms eventually drifted over Madison. It's weakening over the eastern portion of Dane County. Additional thunderstorms have been developing right along the Wisconsin River around Lone Rock, so that might bring some additional, at least some brief heavy downpours into parts of Sauk County, northern Iowa County, and maybe even southeastern portions of Richland County, right along the Wisconsin River. So be aware that that could lead to some localized flooding problems over the next couple of hours. But future radar over the next 3 hours takes the best chances for rain to the north and east and weakens those storm systems. If you take a look at where the rain fell tonight, again, very heavy rain through Sauk, Dane, and Iowa counties. Look at southwestern Wisconsin. Look at the eastern portion of the state. No rain at all. Everything just kind of fell in a narrow band. And if you take a look at the widespread rainfall over the last couple of days, you can see these pockets of heavy rain. Madison was hit in areas north and west of Madison tonight. Yesterday it was down toward the Quad Cities in northwestern Illinois. Areas north of Milwaukee got hit. But there are parts of southwestern Wisconsin, much of northern Wisconsin, that haven't picked up any rain. Now tomorrow we'll see some more thunderstorms develop in the afternoon and evening. The severe weather threat should stay to our north and west, mainly across northwestern Wisconsin, for the possibility for some strong winds and heavier thunderstorms. Then Friday, as a cold front starts drifting southward, we could see the possibility for an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, mainly west and south of Madison during the afternoon hours. Rainfall amounts additionally through Friday, generally around a ½ inch, but just as we saw tonight, there could be some areas that pick up 2 or 3 inches of rain in a short period of time in a very localized area, and then you go a few miles away and very little rain falls. So again, these rainfall amounts will be spotty. Live view from the WISC sky cam looking off toward the northeast. Every once in a while we've been seeing some flashes of lightning, but that storm has really weakened quite a bit. High today, 86, low temperature 68. Right now, our temperature is 71 degrees with some light rain at the airport. Dew point temperature is 66, so it's very muggy out there. Might see some patchy fog overnight. Temperatures mid-80s to lower 90s for high temperatures today. They've cooled off into the middle 70s, but they're not going to fall much more tonight because the air is just so humid, so it just doesn't cool down. Take a look at these dew points, mid-60s to the lower 70s, so no matter where you go, you're going to be dealing with the humidity at least over the next couple of days. Our forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy, showers and thunderstorms gradually will come to an end. Patchy fog possible overnight with a low temperature of 66. 69 for tomorrow. Very similar to today. High of 85, partly sunny skies, very warm and humid, and then shower and thunderstorm chances increase in the afternoon and die down in the evening. On future track, you can see the threat for rain ending overnight. Tomorrow's low temperatures in the upper 60s. Then thunderstorms pop up in the afternoon with highs in the mid-80s. A lot of space in between some of those storms, though. Tomorrow night, they should die down. They might interfere with a few fireworks displays. Low temperatures in the upper 60s. And then pretty much the same story again on Friday. Highs mid-80s and the possibility for some scattered thunderstorms. Rainfall amounts could be in the half-inch range, but locally upwards of 1 or 2 inches in a heavier thunderstorm. But Friday, a cold front comes through Friday night. And for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, those temperatures drop back into the upper 70s to around 80. The dew point temperatures come down, so the air dries out. Maybe a thunderstorm chance from Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, but much of next week should be dry and pretty pleasant overall.
And we need that.
You know, we had our taste of summer. Now it's time to kind of relax for a little bit.
Just for a little bit. Okay, thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
The Brewers trip to Cincinnati hits a speed bump tonight. We'll have that story coming up in sports.
The Brewers are now on the road from now until the All-Star break Sunday. Game 3 of their series in Cincinnati tonight. Christian Yelich sits this one out. They call it load maintenance these days. Without Yelich, the Brewer bats go quiet. The Reds don't get a whole lot off Yuli Chassin either, but Yasiel Puig does. He homers for the second straight night. He gets 2 hits, drives in 2. Brewers are shut out by Sonny Gray and the Reds in Cincinnati. Final score, Reds 3, Brewers nothing. They'll play again at 1 tomorrow afternoon in Cincinnati. Brewers go to Pittsburgh for the weekend. That's where the Cubs are tonight. And Victor Caratini hit 2 homers, 1 left-handed, 1 right-handed. Cubs had a 5-4 lead going to the bottom of the ninth, but Craig Kimbrell blows the save. Corey Dickerson hits a sacrifice fly to win it. Final there is Pirates 6, Cubs 5, so the Brewers still lead the Central by a game over the Cubs. Hernan Perez cleared waivers, and since he doesn't have enough service time in the majors, Perez has to accept his assignment to AAA. He'll stay with the Brewers organization for now. Brewers, of course, in the race for the Central Division title this season, so they should be buyers, not sellers at the trade deadline. New this year, the trade deadline is July 31st, and no trades will be allowed after that. Brewers general manager David Stern says that'll change things.
It probably puts a little bit more urgency on that July 31st deadline. We've been fortunate. We've been able to make some trades in August over the last couple of years that have helped the team. Last year, we made 3 trades in the last day of August that we thought helped the team and helped supplement our group. Those opportunities won't be available this year. So we're going to have to make sure that to the extent possible, we address our needs during the month of July. Over the next month, we may have a couple of opportunities to supplement the team, but it's going to start with the players we currently have performing at a high level. I think they can.
It'll be the United States and the Netherlands in the Women's World Cup Finals Sunday in France. The Dutch knocked out Sweden in the semifinal round today. The game winner comes in the 99th minute in overtime. Jackie Groenen gets the goal. Orange is the new orange. Netherlands were the European champions in 2017. Now they have a chance to win the country's first Women's World Cup. So Sunday's World Cup final will have the United States looking for its 2nd straight title, going against the Dutch. Kickoff will be just after 10 o'clock Madison time, Sunday morning in Lyon, France. Right now, the outlook is optimistic for former Badger Rose Lavelle, whose balky hamstring acted up again yesterday. Lavelle says, "I'll be fine. I'm good to go." So she expects to play Sunday. Megan Rapinoe should also play for the U.S. too. And the latest inductee into the UW Athletic Hall of Fame is another no-brainer. Jessie Vedder is now Jessie Vedder McConnell. She's one of the most popular and most decorated women's hockey players in Badger history. In her 4 years at Wisconsin, 2006 to 2009, her Badgers played in 4 national championship games, winning 3 of them. She was also on 2 U.S. Olympic hockey teams, and she won 3 state soccer championships at Monona Grove High School, too. Jessie Vedder McConnell, the latest inductee into the UW Athletic Hall of Fame. And we'll be right back.
Not
Terry.
Well, we're watching some showers and thunderstorms trying to flare up again, northern portions of Iowa County, right around Spring Green. But as we take a look at the radar in motion, they are definitely starting to diminish. So other than those storms out by Lone Rock and Spring Green, the rest of the activity is starting to wind down. That's good news. Temperatures right now, upper 60s, lower 70s. It's very humid out there. Look for a 4th of July with highs in the mid-80s, some thunderstorm chances next couple of days, but a break for the weekend and much of next week.
Thanks for joining us. Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.